What's up, guys? It's Claudio, and today is the last day of the Merrick Criterium out in Long Island. I'm in the 4-5 race. I went last week and the week before. The first time I had some real trouble cornering. The second time, I got the hang of it. I really got the hang of leaning over and trusting my tires, trusting my speed, holding my line. Really important. So today is the day that I will hopefully have all my skills down. And to be honest, I really would like to do something instead of sitting in. I would like to attack, maybe go for a preem. Usually I can't go for the field sprint because I'm just so far back, but I'd like to do something. You know, I've been dropped so many times this year, it doesn't matter if I get dropped. So it's okay to test out what it feels like to go for a preem or go for an attack. See what kind of recovery is needed, see how many watts I have to really push to try to get away or just to even attack. So I think, that's my goal today. If I can summon the courage to do that, I will do that. It's the last race, whatever if I get dropped, right? I'm tired. I worked all day yesterday, 18-hour day. Friday, I also worked 15-hour day. Got a lot of fatigue in my body. My legs are feeling okay, but I've been on my feet all weekend. So let's see how that goes. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Race is starting off as it normally does. You know, people are not really sprinting out at this race. It's not known for that here, unlike some of these other races where people just shoot off. So it's chill. We're all getting the feel for it. I have to say this race was very eventful. You could tell that it was the last race. You could tell that people were on their toes. People wanted to do things. There was a lot of action. I felt like I was really on my toes the whole time. And it was fun. It was really fun. There was that crash. You know, fortunately, I think everybody was okay. But people were on edge. I think the number 1 and number 2 spots in the whole series were very close together. So we're just feeling it out, and that's the first lap for you. You see these little flyers coming up, and I'm going to show you a few of my turns. These are all at the beginning of the race. Me holding my line, getting in there. Even when I'm kind of boxed in, I'm still holding it. This was kind of sketchy, but still managed to hold the line. I got comfortable just leaning into the bike. And this one was at 29 miles an hour, and I'm still like pretty good. I mean, I'm not right on that guy's wheel. This one looked a little sketchy, but it was a slower speed. You know, it gets crowded in there. So I got the hang of it. Okay, it's not perfect, but at least I'm not going. If you go to my first video of this series, I'm all over the place. I'm going wide. I'm not comfortable or confident at all. So and I got dropped. Like I think maybe halfway through the race. Here I held on the whole time because I learned how to turn my bike fairly decently. And not waste so much watts, so much energy that you could lose on these turns. So for those of you that don't know me, here are my stats. Age 36, 154 pounds, FTP is around 240, max heart rate is somewhere like 187 to 190, and I train about 7 hours a week on Trainer Road. And I've been doing triathlons.
I've been training triathlon for a year and a half, and then I stopped doing that. Now I am focusing on cycling, and I'm really looking forward to the off season. More indoor training, which I really love. Honestly, I like it more than going outside in some ways because it's so efficient. When I go to the park, around here it's Prospect Park, you can do intervals and you can do all this stuff. But, you know, like when you go on the downhill, it's really hard to get watts out of your bike going on a downhill, right? It's more on the uphills and on the flats that you can do something. So then it's just kind of like a sort of a recovery ride for part of it, and then it's like if you go and there's people there, then you know you gotta stop for them to cross, stuff like that. Indoor training, so efficient. You dial it in, you know exactly how many watts you're doing, and especially if you have a smart trainer nowadays. I mean, forget about it. All this stuff on Zwift, Trainer Road, and you can really make gains that way. And then, of course, avoid the cold. Okay, here I'm like, I'm really on this guy's wheel. I'm already at the back. By the way, now we're like halfway through the race. I skipped forward. So this is halfway through, a little bit past halfway. And I'm tired. I'm at the back. So you know I'm tired. And nice, I moved up a little bit there. That's good. So a lot of, you know, people are on edge. People are like kind of yelling, and you know, some people, I get yelled at a lot for not holding my line, and that's fine. But there were some people being sarcastic towards other riders, and like just tell them, hey, maybe hold your line better in the corner, or like watch your line. But then to be sarcastic, I don't know, man, that's not necessary. Again, getting yelled at, I call it getting yelled at, but you know, when somebody says something or somebody, maybe they'll put their hand on your back and kind of push you a little bit. That's cool. It's all good. But just, you know, you don't have to go into the sarcasm and all that, or maybe insulting. We're all under the same sun. We're all riding here together. So there's a little bit of that. I think it's just because, you know, the last race and there's like tension and people are getting frustrated. So we're here. Everybody's, I don't know what's going on at the front. That's what sucks about the back. You just don't know if there's like a breakaway. You're just in there, just riding. You're sitting in. And now, I know that I said that I wanted to do some kind of an attack. I want to do something. But spoiler alert, I did not do something. I just sat in because it's just so much action, so much happening, and I was never at the front. I just couldn't get to the front. Maybe I was up there for like a half a second. But in order to do that, in order to attack or go for the preems, you have to just get your butt up there in the top 10. And you have to know what's going on at all times. And you have to sit in, but up there, you know, not in the back. At least not for me. I just have no clue what is going on. And then when the preem lap gets announced, I can't make my way to the front, you know, all the way from the back in one lap without maybe like sprinting my ass off and then forget it. That's the sprint that I used up. I was supposed to be for like a preem or for the attack. So to attack, step one, don't be in the back unless you really have that kind of power profile and you know what you're doing, because you're just blinded. And I really wanted to do something, because in previous races I felt like I definitely had a couple matches left to burn after the race. Like I didn't use them. I want to use them. But I wasn't able to do it here. I was spent. And there was that crash, you'll see it, and then they neutralized the race with like 5 laps to go, and then people were just like really on edge. So let's see this. I'm holding tight the inside, but I'm still not really in like the true draft. I still need to work on that, because it's just scary to ride that fast, that close. Like there's still like this little gap, this little annoying gap that I never close, because I just like don't want to be that close to the person in front of me. Look at this, like what if I'm right there with him? Like it's just like, you know? It's scary, but you gotta, to really ride, you gotta get used to that. And I imagine that if you're in the higher categories, it just kind of flows better because everybody's so experienced. But this is how it is in the 4 or 5s. There's just people a lot of people like me, who are not that comfortable. All right, so talking about Trainer Road, it's been great. I was doing the cyclocross plan, the whole plan that they have for cyclocross, because I just started cyclocross. I just did my first cyclocross race, my first 2 races this past weekend, literally yesterday, and it was awesome. I shot video, of course, of the whole thing. And there's going to be a big video on that coming really soon. And I'm going to talk all about that video. But all in all, it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother beast, cyclocross. I'll tell you that the kind of fitness is sort of similar to crits. But you need more of that surgy punch, because you're always like punching out of corners, and it's much slower. You don't get above 20 miles an hour. It's all in like 15, 12, and it depends on the course. But you're not going fast like this. So you are it's a different kind of scary. Like this is scary, like going 27 and then crashing on pavement, that's scary. But in cyclocross, you're definitely around a lot of people on the corners and everything, especially in the first lap. And you're afraid of just sliding around because of the whole issue with mud, and when it gets wet, and then it's all about tire pressure and the kind of tires that you have, and trusting your tires. And there's no such thing as a peloton, right? There's no group. You can't. You can get dropped, but it really just ends up getting really strung out, and there's very little drafting. So those are the things that I noticed, and also a ton of upper body strength is required. I noticed that right away, 15 minutes into my first cyclocross race. I'll get into that in that video. But I have at least 3 or 4 races coming up this month in cyclocross. Really excited about it. Really glad that I got into it. The whole thing of like jumping off your bike and then like carrying it, that's so weird. It's fun, but it's so weird. There's definitely a lot of technique involved. I didn't finish last. I did not finish last, so I was okay in those races. Anyways, that's cyclocross. Coming up this month, a bunch of new videos on that if you guys are interested. So back to this video. Things are getting kind of fast, 28 miles an hour. Let's see what's going on. The yellow is moving up. People are really getting in there. These turns, they just get all like wide. Like people just start, they just go all over the place. People are really hammering it. See what I mean? It's just like everybody's, it's kind of chaos. It looks like it. Like it's just, you see all these gaps everywhere. Like what's going on? It's not very organized. At least in this section. I guess I'm in the middle of the pack. Bro, just watching these turns, it makes me flinch. Still got to put out those efforts to stay on the wheel. It seems like this straightaway is maybe with the wind. Trying to hold the line, trying not to break. I had to. It looks like I had to there. But it's important to learn to not break. Same thing in cyclocross. You just can't break in there. And it's all this technique of turning and leaning your bike over and getting really loose. Oh, and another thing, in cyclocross, the whole tire pressure, like you're running tubeless and it's like some people are running like 23 psi, 20 psi. It's so crazy to think about it because here I'm running 105 psi, right? We're running 100. Some people, I saw one guy put 120 in his tires right before the race. Like, whoa. Let me know what PSI you guys use for road racing, for cycling like this on a clincher tire. I know tubeless is different, but when you have tubes, my go-to is just 100. Maybe I'll go 105. I'm curious to see what other people are doing. Oh, here's a crash. Somehow I avoided that. I don't know how. It happened so fast. You saw that I was blinded. I didn't know what was happening. And another rider's down. And you just react. My front tire, my back tire went up. And I skidded, and I think I hit the guy with my back tire. I hit something, maybe his bike, and then they neutralize it, of course. And then let the guy go. I think he got something like 8 seconds head start. The guy that had gone up by himself. Now we're with like 5 or 6 laps left. And here, I'm nervous because I know people are just gunning. So we're back in it. Everybody's kind of fresh because they neutralized us for at least 5 minutes. It's kind of weird to get back into it because you lose kind of the, when you stop pedaling for that long. I remember it just feeling a little funny. And you can see people want to move up. I'm trying to stay in there. I'm still in my mind actually like, wow, should I attack? Should I do something? But I'm kind of like, you can see I'm moving backwards slowly. Just moving backwards. Not good, because everybody's so aggressive. They want to move up. If you're not constantly trying to move up, you're going to move back. That's what I found. You have to constantly push the pedals in such a way that you're moving up. You're like, every pedal stroke is like, I'm moving up, I'm moving up. It's I don't know if that makes any sense, but that whenever I ride and I'm moving up, I'm like consciously pedaling to move up. Like it's on my mind, move up, move up, move up, move up. And with that intention, you end up moving up. Probably here I had that, I moved up a little. But that was no good. Lost a position or two. So, pedaling to move up, you have to consciously think about that. I mean, these guys, look at this. We just got swarmed. I should really like hop on that, but I don't really want to. I don't want to go that wide into that turn, and I want to stay in this little pocket here. And I lost the wheel. At least I lost the wheel of the guy in front of me, and I lost 5 positions there, maybe more. That was kind of a mistake for sure. I'm not really hurting that much, you know. My heart rate is still under 170. I'm fine. And we just climbed to 170. But now I find myself almost at the back. It's no good. And just like that, in like a lap and a half, I'm in the back. Because I'm not holding wheels in the turns. I'm not truly holding them. And I'm being sort of lazy about it, about drafting. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking I'm saving myself. But I'm still going backwards. I don't know if I can be that tired. I mean, my heart rate is up there. Anything above 170 is it's above my threshold, so I'm feeling it. I think at this point I'm just so glad that I survived this far, that I survived the crash. Let's see how I take this turn. I'm going 28, and I brake. Yeah. I could have squeezed in. 28 miles an hour going into it, 23 coming out. Not good. And now my heart rate is really climbing. Just a few laps left. This is scary right here. Going into it, there's so many people. This turn, it's just like, ugh. And brake so much on this turn. Making all these surges. Trying to stay in the race. Trying to find little gaps to get in there. Move up. This is good. This is, I moved up a little there. I think there's 1 lap to go after this. Let's see. I could have been more aggressive to hold that wheel to get on that. But now people are really hammering it. One to go. Okay, this is last lap. This is nuts. The feeling of the last lap on the last race is crazy. You're like, oh my God, oh my God. It's just like panic, at least for me. I'm freaking out. I know people are just gonna go nuts. I'm way too far back for any kind of a sprint. I mean, I have to do like a triple sprint, like sprint now, then somehow not wreck on this turn, and then sprint again, and then again. Oh, and then it was this. Oh, I remember this. Okay, so then this guy wipes out, and I have to go wide and hit the brakes. And this is the last straightaway. You know, whatever. I put a little baby effort, but what am I gonna do? And that's the race. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.